Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the Who's and What's of AEW Dynamite. My name is Red Jefferson, and yeah, I'm Stag tonight. Going to this dance solo. Roy had a great show that he's doing at Fallout Theater, and you should all check it out if you're there tonight right now. You should definitely check it out. We already got some people in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, everyone. It's Tony says, Punk got punked. Boom. I can't wait to talk about this. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. Mo says, shaboom. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad we're doing well. We're healthy. We're happy. We should be talking about the show. This is going to be an abbreviated episode. I'll be honest with you, because I want to make sure that I get everything. And also, I don't want to blather too long. I could blather. Everyone sound off in the chat when you get here and smash the like button, please. I have to take, there we go. It's gonna be like that. Okay, we start off. This is the Who's and What's of AEW Dynamite, if you haven't heard of it. This was an eventful night. This was a very eventful night. I'm going to guess that it's going to have some chatter about how polarizing this is. What's it be says, well, what an interesting show. I'm happy Sandbag Rosa is no longer champ, but sadly we're getting Rosa versus Britt again. What's it be? Let's hold on a second. Maybe she's hurt, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about the show. JR starts off the show again. Nobody's been watching our show, so they don't know that we don't want that. We don't want JR to start off the show. It's better when he starts off in the middle. But he does sound pretty excited in the beginning. We get Jericho coming out to the ring to get to the bottom line with this whole Daniel Garcia nonsense, because he took him under his wing and he expected Daniel Garcia to show appreciation towards Jericho, hence inviting him to the group. But he brings out Daniel Garcia, and Daniel Garcia looks frustrated. Boy, this kid's very emotional. And Daniel Garcia said Jericho knew. Because Jericho's like, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. You were beaten up. You had an amazing match. If you should feel proud, got bumped in the head maybe a little bit. I just want an apology. Daniel Garcia says, you knew how special that moment was for me. How special that moment was. And what does he do? He does nothing. Because Daniel Garcia, then Bryan Danielson comes out. And Bryan Danielson comes out. I'm just going to read off a promo. Bryan Danielson and Jericho are going to be the next feud coming up. Daniel Garcia is still indecisive. He doesn't want to make up his mind, and no one's going to make him. Not you, Jericho, not anyone else. He pushes Jericho down. So it's effective. Like, I think we could guess that he's going to side with Bryan, or this could be a big ploy so that he could help Jericho win against Danielson at All Out. Either way, I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I thought Jericho did a great job. I'm excited for this feud with Bryan Danielson because of the whole, Lionheart, the Hart family. Who do you think? And while he's going off his whole spiel about why everyone's talks about Bryan Danielson being the best, why not him? He's the last member of the Hart Dungeon. He's the Lionheart. He's done all these things. And then Bryan Danielson's just like, yeah, Stu Hart, who do you think his favorite wrestler would be? You or me? Owen Hart, who do you think his favorite wrestler would be? You or me? And it's a really fun point. I'm very excited for this match. Very excited for this match. And I'm excited for Daniel Garcia to be in the mix somehow. And wonder where Sammy is. What happened to Sammy? Somebody give us some thoughts on Sammy. I forgot to do one of these. I had to do that one, didn't I? We're going to do these. Sorry for anyone who just joined the show. I didn't mean that. We're only doing nice things.
Daddy, chill.
We have to keep moving on, though. Even though Bryan Danielson did say Daniel Bryan accidentally at one point. Did anyone else catch that? Sign off in the chat if you got that. We keep moving on because we have Dax versus Jay Lethal. Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal. And a great match. Great match. The announcers loved it. They're like, oh, this is a dream match for serious wrestlers. And vicious chops to start. One thing, like, by the way, it's a great match. You should check it out. Definitely recommend. Did you hear JR during this? Did you hear JR during this whole? He seemed very frustrated. Taz at one point says something about a move putting a lot of pressure on the tendon. And then Tony says, good call, Taz. And then JR mimics a good call, Taz. Did anyone else notice that? He's getting jealous of Taz praise. It feels like Excalibur and Taz are just having a conversation. And there's these two old guys in the corner that only talk to themselves, but they interrupt and they talk louder. It's, and I'm not trying to be ageist, Redley697, if you're saying that. But I just think that there's too many people there and JR doesn't seem to be happy. JR just doesn't seem to be happy there. But great back and forth throughout the match, back and forth roll-up pins for Jay Lethal getting the win there. And Sanjay Dutt says that that trios match that they got coming up, they never said who the three participants were going to be. They didn't say that. They said that it's going to be Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR and Wardlow. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not, honestly, I would have been more excited with Sanjay Dutt and Sutton. Call me crazy. Somebody call me crazy. We have Redley697 saying Red's glasses are 3D. They're popping right off the screen. I need to because of the glare. And oh my God, I've become my father. His glasses are all the way up there. Jeez, what's happened? What's happened? We have to keep moving on. We get some weird news here. Weird news. Tony Schiavone is in the back with Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa is in tears, saying how she's forfeiting the AEW Women's Championship and that she's going to be back better and stronger than ever. Didn't disclose an injury, but said something about like it's been really hard. And I did see an interview recently where she was talking about the amount of pressure that she's under, and it's been very hard for her. So if this is a physical break, a mental health break, we wish Thunder Rosa the best and hope she gets back into fighting shape, because honestly, I do feel like she wasn't Thunder Rosa that we've come to love. She was just becoming something else. But hopefully she's good. Everyone hope that. Everyone hope that. Give a like in the chat if you want Thunder Rosa to be healthy. Give a like. Do it for her. We have Brooklyn Bleak is in the chat. Brooklyn Bleak. Oh. And I forgot. Chica Mark said, thank you for the fart noise. No, thank you. Let me give you a really nice thing. Let me give you a nice thing. This, followed by a. Brooklyn Bleak says JR is getting especially catty now. It's true. It's becoming very apparent. Then Brooklyn says all that I know is that I'm getting a modern dream match of FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, I don't want to take that away from you, and I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you, and it's going to be great. I think the fact that it's a trios match hurts it, because I don't care about Wardlow being in there. You know, if it was those two, great. The trios match puts Sutton back in there. I want Sutton back in there. We all see it. Mose writes, why is this not in the ring with Rosa? She should have gone heel. I don't think this seemed like it didn't seem like it was a planned moment. I'm sure there's a million ways they could have done it better or differently, but honestly, I think they were just trying to get it done. It didn't seem very happy. Chico Marks writes, heart right back at you.
I like turtles.
We got to move on because now we got to talk about Colten Gunn versus Billy Gunn. And boy, was this match there. This is, can we all agree that this is the best run of Billy Gunn's career? We could all agree on that, right? If one person agrees, okay, so they jumped on my band. See what I'm doing there? I'm trying to be entertaining. I think that this is the best run of Billy Gunn's career. I'm going to stand by that. Stokely helps the Guns by helping up the Acclaim that are out there and showing support for Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass. They get a low blow. Colten gets a low blow on Billy and then pins him with his flippy dippy movie there. Swerve and Lee save the day from Stokely and the Gun Club. Interesting. Why would they do that? Maybe they'll explain later. We get Tony Schiavone in the back with Death Triangle, the United Empire. We're saying a bunch of things, but it was good. I think we could all agree it was good. Redley697 says, where's Royster? Is he getting too old for you, Red? What does that mean? Mose writes, Billy Gunn is having the time of his life. He really is. He really is. Woodsy the Beast says, no, it's the one Billy Gunn. Don't be silly, Woodsy the Beast. You're just trying to be silly right now. I guess they did win the Intercontinental Championship during that time frame, didn't they? Didn't Billy? We have to keep moving on because we have Britt Baker versus KiLynn King. Glad to see KiLynn King being on TV twice 2 weeks. She makes her tap, but it was nice to have her in that mix, and I think she should be thought of more often with storylines and characters, because if someone needs a bodyguard, she's great. There's got to be something there. Someone's got to scratch the surface with that one, but KiLynn King's great. But nice little match, and that's the end of the match. After that, Britt says that she was a fighting champion, and she did it all with a broken wrist. Did it all with a broken wrist. Calls out Tony Storm. Tony Storm runs out there, gets blindsided by Hater, and they all beat up on Tony Storm. And we're going to get something that I think that's going to be the match, a 4-way for the AEW Women's Championship with Tony Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. I had some people asking in the Discord, which you could definitely join, by the way. You could definitely join the Discord, but just email loserleavespod@gmail.com. We're having fun. We're having fun in there. But Mose writes, Billy Gunn is having that. Yeah, we already got there. Redley697 says, because you're ageist. We already went over this, Redley697. I'm not. I just want JR to find peace. Woodsy to be not in that way. I meant find peace in a man, is he angry? The guy's got to stop being, just have fun. Woodsy B says the one Billy Gunn won the King of the Ring too. Nope, the one Billy Gunn did not win the King of the Ring. The one Billy Gunn won 1999 when he was still Mr. Ass. The one Billy Gunn was 2000, end of 2001. Yeah. I believe. Someone check my math. Mose writes, King needs a story. I agree, Mose. Brooklyn Bleak says, yeah, KiLynn King is being built to be the placeholder for Chris Statlander. She's more than that. We don't, that's not, but you're right. That's what she's being booked as. I'm not disagreeing with you. So Swerve's in the back. Swerve, have you heard of him? Swerve in Glory? Swerve? Swerve's in the back. Said that they say, Swerve and Lee, excuse me. And Lee's like, we saved you, Acclaimed, because we have deemed you worthy. And he claims like, we've been worthy. We've been here forever, the best homegrown team we've got. And they're saying all these nice things and that they're not ready for them. Please give the title to the Acclaimed. Please give the titles to the Acclaimed. Swerve and Lee do not make sense. They don't make sense. They're better off singles. It's forced. It feels forced. It doesn't even seem like they want to be there. And it sucks that Swerve looks like he's second fiddle all the time with them always playing Keith Lee's music. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me when I'm lying. That's a CM Punk quote from last week, was it? Wizzy to Be says, you want JR to die. Holy shit. Woodsy the Beast. You're being... Well,
why are you yelling at me?
Brooklyn Bleak says, not to take anything away from her, though. No, I know. I didn't think you were taking anything away from her, Brooklyn Bleak. I agree. We have to keep talking about wrestling, though. We have to talk about Swerve, the lead, that thing. I don't want them to be champs anymore. I think I said enough there, right? I think I said enough there. We got to talk about this next. This thing's the hot topic, y'all. This thing's going to break the internet. Share this with everyone. Share my take here. We got Moxley versus CM Punk. Jon Moxley versus CM Punk for the unification of the AEW Championship. The crowd is definitely split here, but definitely more on Moxley's side. Definitely feeling that Moxley energy, and Punk's kind of playing into a little bit. And they're going back and forth. They're hitting each other, giving some stiff shots back and forth. There's this one part where he charges at Punk, Moxley, that is. Punk goes for a round kick, does it, twists that ankle. And now we're not sure. Now we're not sure what's happening because now he can't get up. He's selling it like a shoe, right? He's selling it because that's his injured foot that he broke. And there was rumors about it not healing, whatever. He sells it. And then Moxley just destroys him, gives him 2 paradigm shifts. Or what are they calling it? Low riders? What are they calling it? Easy riders? Ghost riders? Somebody's got to help me out. Yeah, he squashed him. Not squashed him. There was definitely a reason for it. But that was a quick match. Quick match. Moxley celebrates afterwards, and they kind of carry Punk away. Punk's looking back. This is an angle. This is definitely an angle. Let's not kid ourselves. This is an angle, and it's a really, really good one. So now we have Punk being turned on by the fans, him acknowledging it. Moxley's just kind of claimed, like, I'm here for them, been here for them. That is not AEW. CM Punk is not AEW. Then what is AEW? The fans, the locker room and the fans, but the locker room are rejecting CM Punk. They don't want him to be champion. They're having a match at All Out. I'm saying that at that match at All Out, people are talking about MJF coming back, right? MJF led because they want MJF versus Punk again, right? MJF probably wants Punk to win because he hates that locker room and he hates Tony Khan and he wants Tony Khan to be sad and angry. And you know what would make Tony Khan sad and angry? An angry locker room. And everyone hates Punk. And MJF is the better of 2 evils to him is Punk winning the championship. And I'm not saying they have to be buddies. And I don't necessarily say, like I was talking to Moet, Uncle Moet. Uncle Moet and I were talking, and Uncle Moet said that he doesn't know because MJF is going to be a big face when he comes back. When has MJF really ever wanted to be he doesn't want to be a face? If he's going to be a face, it's going to be because people hate themselves for cheering him because he likes to be this way. He's going to help Punk win, which is what the crowd doesn't really want. And it's going to continue this feud with Tony Khan. It makes sense for him to come back in this way because he's trying to hurt Tony Khan. And how else can you hurt a non-playable character? Interesting. We have to see some comments here. Redley697 says, Red is digging himself a hole after he digs a grave for JR. Whoa. Oh, now. No, not cool. Not cool. Alejandra Ruiz says Punk has to be hurt. I didn't like him getting buried. I think he's still not terribly healed yet, but this, even if he's not, even if he is, I think this is a great way to go for this angle because Punk's able to lose. Like Moxley looks, it makes sense why it would happen. He just got back from an injury that people were saying he might be coming back too soon from. Of course, Moxley, in logic sense, would demolish him. But then later, like it gives an opportunity for this turn because once Punk's tasted the top, anybody that takes it away from him, especially after he's come back, they gotta go. I don't know. Brooklyn Bleak says Death Rider like his name in Japan. Oh, is that it? I didn't know that. Mose writes, where do we go from where with Mox? Mose says, where do we go from where with Mox? Where do we go from where with Mox? I'm not sure what that means. We're going to have to get back to you on that. Alejandro says, Moxley has had title run all summer. I hope someone else gets a shot. Sure. I don't disagree with that, but I think the story here is really good, though. A story at the top, like, I think that Moxley's going to lose it again. He's going to lose it all out because of MJF. Mark my words. Mark my words. Brooklyn Bleak says, I like he buried Hangman. Good for AEW. You're being silly. But that's what's going to happen because the MJF would love that. MJF would love that he buried Hangman. That's what MJF's about, is being petty. He wants to be petty with everyone. Brooklyn Bleak, from here with Mox, I think he's meant. From here with Mox, I think he meant. I like he buried. From here with Mox. There's too much going on. I already lost the context. I'm lost, guys. But that's my take. Who else thinks that MJF is going to help Punk win the championship? Is it just me? Hello?
Hello!
Mose writes, true story, Bleak, fat fingers. Don't, we're, wait, oh, yeah. Oh, you were talking about yourself. Hey, let's not shame your fingers. Unless you like your finger. Hey, what? I'm not going to tell you how to like your body, friends. That's not what I'm about. We have to keep moving on. We have to talk about Jungle Boy. Well, not really Jungle Boy, but Christian Cage says this very generic, straightforward interview where he's just talking about how Jungle Boy has challenged him and that, like, you know, he had a future with him and he lost because of all this stuff. But it wasn't terribly interesting. Seemed like just a placeholder for something else. Moving on, Ricky Starks. This was a thing. I was really in love with this episode until this part. Ricky Starks cuts a promo in the ring saying he misses his friends. I did not like this at all. The things we like about Ricky Starks are that he's arrogantly oblivious, but he could be arrogantly oblivious in a sincere way, like not in a sincere, arrogant, oblivious, but yeah, in a sincere way, almost like a dumb dog way. Here, he just kind of complained, and it felt forced. It felt forced. This entire thing felt forced. Not a big fan of serious Ricky. I think Ricky should be more the way he's been since we've liked him, you know, which is kind of like cocky, arrogant, full of himself. I'm going to take on the world. This type of dramatic character shift, which it is a dramatic character shift, feels icky. This should be done more gradually if he wants to do that, because it doesn't feel good right now. What do you think? Do you think I'm weird? Mose writes, this was the longest promo, snore. Yes, it was. It was a very long promo that just didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. I think it should have been backstage, or if they're going to have one of these, he's just not. Give him more time with this. Like why? I don't know. This is probably his choice, and bless him for trying something that's obviously out of his comfort zone, but I wish it was different. Mose writes, you can't cry in promo. There are exceptions, but not in this character. I actually kind of liked him in this. If he's a heel, this worked great. This felt like a heel, like, you will be mean, and I trusted you. Woodsy to B says, put Ricky in a feud with Daddy Magic. Ricky in a feud with Daddy. Yeah. I think that'd be great. Put him in a feud against 2.0. Get him out of this thing with Hobbs if he's going to be crying. And I'm not saying that to be, I think everyone can cry. Everyone in the world can cry. So it's not about anything besides the fact that this did not call for it. Felt forced. Felt forced, dogs. Moving on. Moxley's in the back. Yeah, you heard of him. Moxley says that he's the best in the world, my ass. Moxley says it's his time now. Very fiery promo. Almost went too long. Kind of did, but I liked it. And it sets things up for, like, he's kind of, he's thinking in his brain, I'm moving on from Punk. I have to fight him again, but I'm moving on from Punk. This is just done. Broke him physically, broke him mentally. He's done. I'm going to face him again. And I've got all the momentum. The crowd loves me, all this stuff. And that's what we're going to go feeling when we're going into that pay-per-view. And Punk's going to get more and more desperate. And he's going to take help from unlikely sources. MJF. Woodsy B says, God Red, why are you acting like Andrew Tate today? Who's Andrew Tate? Don't tell me that. Who's Andrew Tate? I won't look it up. I don't know who Andrew Tate is, so I can't be acting like them. Woodsy, come on now. Come on now. Shoot. We have to move on to the main event, though. We got to move on to the main event. Main event's here. And I'm trying my best, Woodsy. All right. It's hard. Got Tammy Kaboom here. Give it up for Tam. Tam's doing a great job. Tammy Kaboom in the booth. We have the main event here. We got United Empire versus Death Triangle. United Empire versus Death Triangle. I immediately asked, what is Don Callis doing here? Because I was confused as to why he was watching this match. And I found out later I thought this was a good match. Very fun. It's a lot. You know, it's fun. It's fun. I really like Will Ospreay. I really like Will Ospreay a lot. Will Ospreay was and Pac. I want to see those matches, like really, really like a bunch. But it was a great match, a lot of fun. And then we get some attacking. Where there's Pac goes out into the crowd and hits Kip Sabian's little cardboard hat off, and it's not Kip Sabian, it's someone else, and Kip Sabian attacks him from behind, and he's got this dramatic white streak in his hair. And then we got him back in the ring, Pac, and then he gets tag teamed, maneuvered by the United Empire, getting the win. And they're moving on to this trios tournament to face the Elite. They're going to be facing the Elite, which is why Don Callis was there. And also all that drama with Kenny and Will Ospreay, probably a work. I'm starting to think it's a work. They're working the same company. The cease and desist is a great way to continue the story without actually talking about it on TV. It's good. Brooklyn Bleak says they gave him the mic time because the hype of him being great on it and all, but the crowd was behind him. The line about people wanting you to do good until you surpass them was great. Yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. But I just feel that I don't know, Brooklyn Blake, it didn't get me. Alejandro says, who challenges Punk after Mox? That's a good question. That's a great question. Honestly, I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't thought that far out yet. I'm thinking small game here, Alejandro. I should be thinking long game, especially with if you knew who I was applying to be hired for. There's words there. Mose writes, how are the trios going to top this? They always top everything, and it's very easy to top when it's the formula of just add more moves. It's very easy for them to mentally top. Brooklyn Bleak says Andrew Tate equals another guy who got kicked off of some apps because of his thoughts. What? Hey, I don't know who. Hold on now. What thoughts? I am pro JR Living. I am pro JR Living. Alejandro Ruiz says Motor City Machine Guns making an appearance, not getting a big enough pop. Because I think it's the context of the match, just them announcing them not coming out. It just feels kind of lazy. Like it just feels thrown together. It's just like, oh, here's a clever thing to do. It didn't feel, there's no reason for it. No reason for it. Mose writes, and honestly, who would I rather face? Motor City Machine Guns, two skinny ass little kids. No, they're great. Or something I'm saying. I would be much rather face the Motor City. It's less of a threat. If I'm FTR looking at this in the world of wrestling, they look less of a threat. So I don't know. Come at me. Come at me. Mose writes, Forbidden Door 2, Tupac OS will be death. Forbidden Door 2, Pac. I think meant Tupac. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that would be great. I'd love that. Wizzy B says, story-wise, the Elite shouldn't be a team. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Brooklyn League says, I thought the finals would be Ospreay versus Omega, but they're the semifinals. Holy hell. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. I don't know. That's interesting. Joe's here. Joe's in the chat. Let's give a hello to Joe. Joe writes, late to the show, holy moly, what is going on with Punk? Is he legit hurt? Why give this match away now? I don't think he's legit hurt, Joe. Tony Khan did not put CM Punk in a match if he wasn't feeling 100%. He's just not going to do it. It's just not happening. I don't think it's happening. Mose writes, Kip cannot get the belt. This is dopey. Who says that Kip's getting the belt? Is that happening? I don't know. Joe writes, Red to WWE, change is coming. Don't stop, Joe. Don't jinx it. Alejandro says, I saw Dax and Gallows contracts is up, hoping they join the Elite. Are you talking about WWE? No, I'm just joking. Roy would kill me if he heard me say that. But yeah, that's the end of the night. I'm excited for what's happening. Tell me join the Discord so we could talk more about MJF possibly being siding with Punk. The Discord, go to loserleavespod@gmail.com. Send us an email there, loserleavespod. Looking at you, Alejandra. I'm looking at you. I think Woodsy the Beast here and there. I think Brooklyn Bleak here and there. If you're not, you should be sending us thing. And anyone else who hasn't been jumped in there yet. And we're still going over Ridley 697's application. I don't know if it's going to happen, but thank you all so much for joining us. Tam and I, Bammy Kaboom. We hope we see you this Saturday for the Weekly Wrestle. Weekly Wrestle 36, I believe. It's getting up there. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Bye. Cut. Just cut. Get me out of here.
Ole. Ole.